Army. Thank you for your taxes. The one doesn't work without the other, I can tell you that. So I'm like the middle-aged guy. Yeah, so I'm like the middle-aged guy. I could barely see it in my rearview mirror, but so I'm divorced and I date. For a long time I was doing online dating, and people ask me all the time. They say, does computer dating, does that work? And I always say, well, if the computers are committed to the relationship, I think that it goes out. But I tell you what, the other thing is, I have to give credit to OkCupid, because OkCupid, honesty in advertising. They don't call themselves Great Cupid. They don't even really call themselves Good Cupid. They're just, it's okay. We're OkCupid. They might as well call themselves, what'd you expect, Cupid? Or, just look at yourself, Cupid. None of it works. But I had a pretty interesting time. I went out, one of my dates, we had chatted around a little bit, and then we met up at a bar, and first thing she says to me, she goes, you're not one of those weird guys that does background checks on your girls, are you? I go, no, I wouldn't do that. She goes, oh, great. Bartender, make it a double and keep them coming. And then she was a school teacher and a little bit of a boozy Betty, if you know what I'm talking about. She says to me, she was telling me how she was teaching school one time. She was trying to teach them math. She said, all right, class, if I have 2 bottles in this hand and 3 bottles in this hand, what do I have? One of the kids raised his hand. He goes, what you got is a drinking problem is what you got. So, it was another girl. She was an interesting one. So we went out, first date. We had chatted up again. It's typically how you do it. You chat up and then you meet up. And she, first date, she says, I want you to come back to my place. And I'm like, holla. Play a what? Yeah. So I said, we go back to her place, and then we get to the door, and she turns to me and she says, my kitty needs a bath. And I'm like, this is only getting better. But then she opened the door, the cat came walking up, and that kitty needed a bath, believe me. So that was the evening. That was my whole evening. I spent the whole evening giving that kitty a bath. It was not a euphemism. I can tell you that right now. There was one other. Oh, this is one of my greater ones. So they only get better. Believe me, they only get better. So they went chatting up this girl. We went out, and she's in D.C. We stayed in D.C. And then we were hitting it off, doing well. So I'm trying to be cool. I go, hey, let's bounce to Bethesda. And she goes, yeah, I know the lingo. It's a lingo, yeah. She goes, oh, I'd like to, but I'm on probation. And then she shows me her ankle brace. And I go, oh, okay, whatever. And so we ended up, it's not a total loss. It wasn't a total loss. So we ended up making out in a parking lot by the city line, and then after she, it gets better. I didn't even tell you about the Sharpie yet. She pulls out a Sharpie and she says, I want you to sign my ankle bracelet. And I go, sure, and then I'm looking around, and there's not a lot of space it's got a lot of signatures already on that thing. I'm like looking at it, and I'm going like, that's my high school biology teacher. What's he doing on this thing? He gave me an A. But anyway, it went on for, I did that for quite a few years. But I have to say, when you get older, online dating's your only option. If you're, obviously if you're not married, if you're married, that's not going to be an option. But if you're online dating, you're older, if it's the only option. It's the only thing. It's the only game in town, but it's not really a bad game. It's whatever you make out of it. And I bid my time. I met some nice people. After a long time, I met my girlfriend, and she's here right now. And we were. Exactly. Thank you. And we've been together for over a year, and we have big plans for the future. And she's really nice. I like her. You know. But I said to her, I was like, the other day, I was like going, you know, what is she seeing me? So I go, babe, why are you still with me? And she goes, because you're so funny. And I said, oh, I thought it was because I was a great lover. And she says, see what I mean? You're a riot. All right, thank you. That's all I got.